Hello everybody and welcome to the Cone Racing League Tier 2 Round 7 race around Sochi. I'm joined today by Kieran.
Alright guys, nice to see you again.
So qualifying's just about to get underway. See how that goes.
Yeah, we had a really close qualifying last week. Let's see if it can be repeated this week. It'll be an interesting one because Sochi is unforgiving for track limits, isn't it? You run a couple of yards wide on one corner and that's your entire lap gone. So we've just got to be careful and see who's doing what and where.
Doesn't appear to be any movement in the garages yet.
Nope, absolutely nobody is out yet.
Coal Paradox. Soon to leave his garage. Here we go.
Yep.
There's another driver as well.
Another car leaving at the same time, I believe. We've got a couple out now.
Yeah, it's the Haas.
JD. And Jack's just left the pits. Somehow managed to avoid the wall on the exit. He'll be proud of that one. And we've got 4-star on his way out.
Quite a few drivers
do we reckon that Big Balls is going to do what he's done for the last couple of weeks and only set a couple of qualifying laps in Q1 and Q2 with the hope that he gets through?
Well, I think it's quite likely. I mean, we'll see what he decides to do. It's good laps. They're good laps.
I don't even know what a good pace around Sochi is.
Me neither. I think I've done one 5-lap around this track, and that's all I've done. So,
guys, if any of you are watching, just give us a heads up of what sort of lap times that we should be looking for. And if someone comes out and says like a 2-minute fight, then we know you're lying. I think it will be around about a 1:31-ish.
We'll see. Because usually Tier 2 is about 1 second slower than Tier 1. Which can see how close Tier 2 is. It's quite impressive. Some of the guys in Tier 1 are crazy, but here we go. JD, first man, set of the lap. Or to try and set a lap anyway.
Yeah, and we've got 4-star in the final sector and Super Gabu TTV. You know what, I'm just gonna call him Gabu throughout this race, because Super Gabu is just too much of a mouthful. And 4-star is just coming through the final sector before he starts his first flying lap. But he has got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. So that could be problematic, especially into the big braking zone of turn 2. Let's see if he's given himself enough room. So I'm just going to ride on board. Sorry, it's I'm on board with Captain Nick, who's got a bit of traffic in front of him. So let's see if he's given himself enough room for this lap. I'm just going to stay on board with him and see how he gets on.
That turn 3 kind of looks like the Tsar's thumb. In Russia, they had a train track built, and they got the Tsar to draw it. And when he used a ruler and a pencil to draw along, his thumb was over the edge of the ruler, so they drew around his thumb. And it looked really similar to turn 3, and they just had a railway track with kind of an extra unnecessary loop. There we go. JD 132.5. Jack DNF for 132.2 and Coal Paradox 131.9. He's fastest so far.
And that's if. Oh, and Captain Nick's invalidated his lap, so we'll move on. And
Big
see
Will's
who
up
else
to the
is
top,
on the
but
map.
Tobes tops him. I think 4-star now towards the line. No, Craigo next. 4-star on the last
Craigo
corner.
is over the lane. 4-star, yeah, it was 4-star that was up next. The two racing points split by not that much. 0.02 of a second. No, sorry, that's Jack and 4-star. But it looks like the racing points have both come out on track around about the same time as each other, because they're following it. 4-star is not that far ahead of Craigo on track, or behind Craigo on track. Carl Paradox still with the fastest lap, and let's see where JD ends up as he went purple sector 2. And he's just coming through the final sector now, which...
He's 6/10 up, that puts him around about 3rd, maybe 4th position. It's a good last sector, solid 3rd. There we go, up into 3rd. 31.7.
Very solid lap from him.
2 Red Bulls still quite early on in their lap.
Carl Paradox is on his way into the pits. Dragon Speed going slowly to give the car ahead of him room, so that, or he's out of fuel. I think it might be the latter. But he isn't doing the cars behind him any favours. And there's a couple behind him coming onto this back straight.
No, well I think the 2 guys behind him, one's in an out lap, and I think the other's on an in lap, so it's not too crucial. But the Renault behind the Alfa Romeos, that is going to affect them if they catch up. We've got Captain Nick now towards the line, up into 3rd.
And that Renault you were on about, I believe was was Kyle. Yes, it is Kyle.
Yeah.
And he's just coming into the final couple of corners.
A lot of traffic ahead of him.
With that Alfa Romeo getting well out of the way. Well done to whoever was in that Alfa. You couldn't have got any further out of the way if you tried.
Yeah, that was Liverpool fun there.
Very fair of him, because that part of the stadium section is very, very brutal if you get it wrong. And Kyle's straight up into P3.
Renault and Ferrari doing well, and as I say, that Draper up into P1 at 31.3.
Sadistic King is still in the pit.
Only 3 drivers yet to leave, aren't there?
Yeah, after a good showing last week, Claire PR will be wanting to set a decent lap. But speaking of which, he's just decided he's going to come out of the pits and start his out lap. And so is Jay Williams. Sorry, Jay Williams is just finishing his out lap and will be starting a flying lap soon. It's interesting to see that guy Draper and Tobes have both only set 1 lap, and Tobes is back in the pit, so I think Tobes might think he's safe.
I think for those times they might probably are. There's quite a large spread compared to usual. We're looking at a second people who've kind of got laps straight behind the others. By the way, Jack, thanks for the good luck on comms. Good luck with your racing.
He's gonna need it. Let's see if he can improve that 50-50 record up to a 60-40 split.
Someone just set a time. I was not paying attention to see.
That was
Bring F1 up into 7th. 31.9 for him. Someone else also set a lap. Pheasant Plucker up to 10th.
Like, Pheasant Plucker. So everyone inside the top 16 has set a time so far. We've only got 4 cars that have not set times yet. With Bring F1 getting very wide on the exit of turn 3, turn 4. He dipped a couple wheels over the white line going into the braking zone. Surprised that didn't invalidate his lap. That one definitely will.
Williams just invalidated his lap on the 3rd last corner as well.
Going through the stadium section.
Yeah, I don't know the names, but
Yeah. So
the one
final sector, you've got the right-hander, then you've got the awkward left, which it invites you to run wide. And I'm assuming that's where he did it.
No, it was on the right-hander. You've got the steep right-hander, and then so where the Haas is, I think Pheasant Plucker. Yeah, the corner he's going through now, this corner here. That looks like Pheasant Plucker. That looks his lap somewhere as well.
And Claire PR at the moment is flying. He went purple first sector. Let's see how he gets on for sector 2 as he's just coming into the DRS zone. Let's see how he is.
Purple again.
Purple second, sector 2. And along that back straight, Codemasters and the actual F1 drivers claim the fastest line along that back straight with the DRS is to stay in the shadow of the fence. So to hang as tight to the right hand side as physically possible without touching the wall. But I think we'll see.
There we go, PR to 6th position. Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's absolutely fine. I was just about to say the same myself. So he jumped 10 positions with that lap.
But no, the 2 Renaults now out on track, as is Royal Viking.
And neither of the McLarens have set a lap yet.
No, Sadistic King just starting his now.
And Jack Williams with a great result last week. He gained, what, 14 places in the race and ended up with driver of the day?
Oh, something like that. Certainly a deserved driver of the day.
Absolute masterclass in changeable conditions. And well deserved.
Definitely got the strategy right in that race for him.
He did. I think he was the only one that checked the weather screen before the race, and that influenced his tyre selection going into the race itself.
Sadistic King in the purple first sector there. We know it's quick. See where it slots in.
Claire PR with another purple middle sector. And he's had a little bit of a moment, lost a little bit of traction in the final sector, so that will cost him a little bit of time.
Who's that, Claire PR?
Yeah. And it appears that he's suffering a little bit with lag issues.
Does improve though, up to 4th.
He has improved. Draper has gone.
Happily retired. Jack is calling Williams to take the race today.
Pardon?
Jack reckons that Williams will win today. It's possible. Sadistic King up into 13th, not too safe there.
No, that's right on the drop. And if Jack thinks that the Williams are going to win the race today, he needs to pull his finger out during qualifying.
No, not the Williams. Yeah, Williams. J. Williams, whatever you call him.
Ah, you think
the man in the
Jack
McLaren?
Williams is going to win the race today?
So
when you said Williams, I immediately thought of the team Williams.
So Royal Viking up into 9th. It's probably safe for him, but no guarantees. No, it'll be interesting to see how Russell does in the Grand Prix. Because it's obviously going to take a while to adjust.
Yeah, my stream is glitched. I still have Cole Paradox as the fastest lap.
Oh yeah, mine's been saying that for the last ages.
Yeah, so apologies for that, as that information is incorrect. And let's see where Jar Williams comes out.
Press triangle 4 times.
There we go, sorted. Thank you for that. And
so,
Williams just coming over the line.
There we go, up to
6.
Yeah, Jack, I reckon if you finish your score points, that's almost a certainty for you. Because you are not a slow driver by any means.
Why, what's Jack just said?
He says, hopefully I can score points. I think your racing is the definition of go big or go home, to be honest.
Yeah, Jack's definition of racing is send it, or well, what is it? Rushmore
Royal
Hospital.
Viking invalidates his lap. To be fair, at the moment, fairly comfortable 10th. Although having said that, that is only 2/10 above the drop zone. So that really is.
F1's out on a fresh set of softs on his out lap. Apparently, Carl Paradox is now in the pit on a fresh set of softs, so he's gearing up to come out. Craigos just passed the line and
He started
hasn't improved.
Now. Oh,
Was it his out lap?
Honestly, not so sure. Didn't see. Which.
I'll ride on board with him until the first split and see if he goes, see if it comes up with a time or not. Yeah, about that. He's just invalidated the lap. So Liverpool fan has decided that's it. He's calling it a day. Gabu is all the way down in 19th. Is this the first time we've seen Gabu?
No, I've certainly seen him before. I don't know if he was in the past few weeks, but he's certainly driving his race before. B Wheeler missing the pit lane. He needs to get his tyres changed fast if he wants to move it to Q2. On board for Super Garbo, his attempt to move up, but a lot of those drivers, anyone who's not got above of 31.9 needs to try and improve because they're so tightly packed there.
B Wheeler's gone, retired. He's called it a day too.
Alright. As a Liverpool fan, I don't think either of them retired by the wall. As a Super Garbo from the looks of things.
Yeah, by the looks of things, he's just realised there's not enough time to make up. He was actually across the line quicker.
That's interesting because he might have
got himself out of Q1.
That might have been a mistake by him. He's retired. So
did you also get the notification flash up that he was like 6/10?
Yeah, no, green? I got that. I think his lap did improve.
So it would have been at least a second quicker if he hadn't have gone into the pits, and that would have put him at 1:35.5, which would have put him up by Kyle. It would have been between Clertier and Kyle. Obviously, it's just speculation because it might have just been a glitch from the game, but it just went with his best sector time and just said this is on how much quicker he would have been, so on and so forth. We don't know. JD is on an out lap. So
yeah, I'm on board with 4-star at the moment. Man,
I'd say,
bottom. Sorry.
I'd say everyone from Dragon Speed down is in the drop zone, because this could shift on its head very quickly. But Carl Paradox is on his lap. He left that with only a few seconds to spare before deciding to cross the line, but he is in sector 2, so
I think someone's saying you sound like Gunther Steiner.
Who, me?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. Well, they said the commentator, and I'm fairly certain I don't sound like him, and I can hear your voice sounding similar to it, so...
Cheers for that. Just today I'm not as angry. And I'm also not German.
4-star to 15th. And Jack's invalidated his lap, so Jack's going to have to do one of his amazing game 10 places on lap 1s.
Yeah.
So he's starting from 17th.
Paradox, purple, sector 1. Sector 2, sorry.
Well, it's just a question of now, can Sadistic King beat 4-star? Because 4-star's finished, Jack's not going to set another lap. It's can Sadistic King beat 4-star?
And let's see where Carl Paradox goes. Up into P6. He pulled that one out the bag.
He does improve. So 4-star and Jack both knocked out. Both drivers who've seen some great pace from in previous races.
Are struggling a little bit on the streets of Sochi. Sochi, it's a great race to...
It's great for the full send in turn 1. Well,
yeah.
turn 2.
and it's a great place to have a battle around. But when you're in a lonely race, like some of these drivers might end up 5-6 seconds behind the car in front, and when it gets to that lonely pace of just mundanely setting consistent laps, not gaining or losing any time on the car ahead, it's quite easy to lose focus, and as soon as you lose focus, you will end up in a wall, and it will end up in a safety car.
Right, yeah, Victor, to answer your question, I reckon Russell, he's not going to be as quick as Bottas in FP1, or certainly not immediately, but by FP3 he'll probably have got used to it. So I reckon Q2, Q3 we'll start seeing Russell really pull it out the bag. But
except Jonathan, Russell has given a press conference today. Mercedes haven't given him a seat fitting. They're using Lewis's seat.
Ooh.
And Russell's 4 inches taller than Lewis. And he's also got size 11 feet.
That could cause problems.
So he fits, in his words, just, and Toto Wolff told him that they can make modifications to his body and not the car.
That is an interesting way of doing it. He's going to be hurting by the end. I mean, I know they're probably hurt anyway.
Yeah, he's having to wear size 10 race shoes in order to actually be able to use the pedals.
Here we go, these top 15 drivers, just over 6/10 between them. And not much of a gap here. Yes, it's mostly drivers making mistakes here, but it's this midfield pack here that's always super close. Creating an amazing fight to get out of Q2. Because that often really decides where people finish in the race.
I can see a couple of drivers opting to qualify on the medium, knowing that someone will be quicker than them, so they can opt for the harder tyre to start the race.
It all depends what the strategies the racing on, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've got a couple of strategies available here. I think a 50% race around here is about 27-28 laps, which is obviously what we're doing today. So you can opt for the medium soft, or you can go hard to soft tyre. So that could be an interesting one come the start of the race.
Here we go. JD, the first man out on track. Looks like Draper also now out on track. See movement from the Ferrari and Mercedes as well.
Big Balls is also out.
Actually, while they're all starting on their out laps, I will give a quick account of what the championship standings are looking like. So at the moment in the lead of the championship, we do have Big Balls. He has got a 5-point lead over Sadistic King, so it's worth watching out for those two. That's that McLaren versus Ferrari battle that we all love to see in the 2000s. Bring F1 in third, quite a big gap from him to Sadistic King, 23 points there. Yeah, so we can't jump to the championship lead no matter what happens here. But of course we can certainly make huge gains towards that front. Then 4-star, Clerpiar, Williams, Hopes, Cole Paradox, Liverpool Fan and Jack to follow it down. Quite a big gap between Liverpool Fan and Jack. But certainly Liverpool Fan through to we should say 4-star, so that's 9th and 4th, all fairly close, not too much between them. So fairly good midfield battle again in this, as there is an actual F1, but JD starting his lap now. He's on softs.
And Pheasant Pluck has immediately invalidated an outlap. I know it's only the outlap. And one thing I have noticed about the current championship standings is the league admins have updated tier 1 and 2 but not the academy yet.
I think they have.
Last academy one was on the 26th.
Oh, they're not on the one for this Monday?
No, not yet, but they've updated everyone else's from last week.
Well, you know, they've already done from last week, just none done from this week yet. JD
Yeah.
completely invalidates his lap. Going absolutely crazy there, so cutting all the corners, try and hop on board with someone else. Are we setting a good lap? Is that, no, that's not a lap.
I'm
Draper.
on board with Royal Viking at the moment. And let's see what everyone's got fitted, shall we? So, interesting one, that it's round about 70, 80 split, yeah, 70, 30 split for soft to medium tyres, with only 5 drivers opting for the mediums in Q2. But Pheasant Royal Viking has gone purple in Sector 2.
He is the first man to set a Sector 2 time there, so... Ooh, Draper's
gone.
That's a crash. But we'll see him just here.
Yeah,
just spun.
he's facing the wrong way.
Yeah, and I saw he had a tie gone. So, guess he will not, despite setting a very quick time in Q1, he will not be moving forward.
Okay, so Royal Viking's Q2 time is slower than the previous best in Q1.
A lot of people have invalidated though. I've seen 3 drivers invalidate and only 1 man actually set the lap so far.
Where's Spring F1? In the pits. Let's take right on board with Pheasant Plucker as he comes through this final sector.
On the mediums.
Yeah. He's got
Royal
a
Viking didn't actually
to
set...
beat.
Royal Viking set quite a slow time compared to some times in Q1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pheasant Plucker not too far off the soft time.
And the medium tyre being around half a second slower per lap. So Royal Viking really didn't get the most out of that set of softs, did he?
No.
Craigo with a very slow 134 dead.
Ooh, and JD invalidates his lap again.
I'm not taking a pop shot at you there either, Craigo, but that lap, you either made a mistake somewhere or you got caught up in traffic. I'd assume it's the latter. So bring F1 coming in. What? I keep jumping on board with people just as they come into final sector. Carl Paradox straight to P1
Paradox.
again.
And that's a decent time by him. Yeah, I'm on board with Sadistic King, quite near the end of his lap.
Yeah, I'm on board with Bring F1. As I was saying, I keep jumping on board with people as they're coming through the DRS, like as they hit the DRS detection line at the beginning of Sector 2. Well, midway through Sector 2. Big Bulls, I think he'll call out a day now. Because that...
that is a good lap, yeah, he's probably safe at that time.
Yeah, I'd say the top 2 are safe.
Not, well, I mean, Cold Paradox probably safe, but of course you can't be too sure.
No. Okay, so we've got Clear PR on a lap, purple sector 1. Yeah, sector 2, sorry. Again, jumped on board with someone as they're coming into sector 2. Or at least midway through it. I don't know how I'm doing this, it seems like it's a skill at this point. And let's see where
that guy Draper's just said he lost traction out of the chicane. But Carl coming across the line, a 1:31.4.
That's a solid time. Carl Paradox, sorry, Claire PR, purple middle sector 2. So if he can hold it together, he should be on course for at least top 5. And we have a car going slowly. I think that's a Ferrari. I think that might be Big Balls or Captain Nick.
No, it was actually... I think it was Kyle. It was one of the Renaults. But Captain Nick was going past on his fast lap. On the board, Captain Nick, he got purple sector 1. It's looking good for him so far.
Big Balls has had a massive off. It was a Ferrari going slowly. Because he was 9 seconds down at the split of sector 3. So got split of sector 2 going into sector 3.
Bring F1 up into 5th position. This Dragon just knocked him down. 3rd for Dragon.
Jay just jumping inside the top 10 with a 132 dead.
132.9 dead.
Pardon?
132.9.
Yeah. It's been a long week, guys. I do apologise for any of this.
There we go, Captain Nick near the end now. Fairly quick so far. Well, he's used up all the ZRS he can. 32 flat. Decent lap by him. Certainly room for improvement.
And in qualifying, you have the option. Your ERS, you don't use yourself. You don't have the overtake button as an option. You either have the hot lap option on the MFD, or you have it off. So you have no option as to where it's used around the track. It's just there to give you maximum power throughout the entire lap. And on the track with long straights such as Sochi, it's going to be depleted by the time you reach the final corner. Captain Nick is going quicker again. Purple first sector. But can he hold it together for the rest of the lap? Is that a Williams going slowly along the back straight? With
the Williams just
behind?
passed the McLaren, but they are both going slow. They're both plus 10 seconds. Well, at least.
Yeah, I think they'll both head into the pits now. Captain
Half
Nick,
a second for
Captain
Captain
sector
Nick.
2 with over half a second in the green. Well,
Yeah, he's looking at 3rd place, maybe 2nd, or possibly even up to the top for a Ferrari 1-2.
if Captain Nick jumps up to 1st or 2nd, I'd say both Ferraris can comfortably retire from this session.
There we go.
Yep.
Ferrari 1-2, Captain Nick up to the top. 7/10 better in his first lap. Toby's now near the end of his lap. Can he knock Williams out the top 10? Sorry.
He did.
Whoa.
Williams is now down to 11th.
But Toes with a 137. The fastest lap we've seen by a long way.
When you said 137, I thought that was just one continuous time. I was
130.
I was looking up and down the timing board like 137. That's not the fastest lap we've seen today. Sadistic King's still in the pits with less than 5 minutes to go. You know what? He might have gone for a toilet break and not realising how much long's left of the session.
No, he's notorious for doing this.
What, leaving it to under?
Yeah, leaving it to last minute.
3.5 minutes. And
Although
then
the fact he's got
coming
medium tyres on his limit to last minutes is a bit worrying.
in, he might be seeing who's setting what times on what tyres and determining whether or not he can get out and beat, say, Pheasant Plucker, who is currently on
You
the
can't leave it too much
drop.
longer, though.
Including the time it takes to be dispatched from the pits, which normally takes about 15-20 seconds in-game.
He's got to go like now.
And then your outlap, which will be around about 1 minute 45. He needs to leave the pits within the next 30 seconds.
Oh, of course he needs to get to the line, doesn't he? 2 laps.
Yeah.
No, he's got more than 30 seconds then.
Yeah, but he needs to do his outlap first.
Yeah, he's leaving. Pits.
He must have been listening and waiting for us
No. This is
to mention it.
usual Sadistic King. That is not Sadistic King.
No, Sadistic King is still sat chilling in the pits. No, he's not.
No,
He's on
just
his way
left,
out.
yeah. If you try to look backwards in a car while they're in the pits, it just throws you on board with a different car.
Yeah. Oh no, I've got it going backwards into the pits in the Renault. Like, I've just watched the car get back into the pits with the pit crew just milling behind. That's a weird view. I don't like that. I'm not going to do that again. Because normally you don't see the face of like the race engineers or pit crew. I didn't even know they had faces in this game. I just thought that they were there.
Royal Viking looking to be 4/10 green. That'll look at him round about 4th.
But second
for him. Good last sector by him. Knocking the Ferraris down again. Pheasant Plucker in, I don't know, about to start his lap.
And Carl Paradox, sorry to cut across, so that's a gutsy move.
Was that retirement or a... No, it was a retirement.
Yeah, he retired.
So Pheasant Plucker, I think just as time for 2 laps. He can't really mess up his first lap if he wants to get a second lap in.
Yeah, he's not got it. Yeah, if he gets into the 130s, I think he'll have enough time to get another lap in. But if he even remotely messes up,
oh, Craig off into the top 10, and someone else jumps him, knocking Clopion and Pheasant Plucker out.
Royal Viking has retired. Yeah, he's safe.
I think he's safe. I do not know why Tobes hasn't retired.
We had a Mercedes going backwards then.
Big Bulls was retired. Yeah, that was Royal Vikings, didn't say this.
Bring F1 for some reason is. It looked like he was on his way out the pits as I was skipping past him. He's on his way in.
That is an interesting choice. Because the chances are that he'll get jumped by Sadistic King. Although to be fair, Sadistic King only on mediums, so he's restricted by that.
He needs to put in at least a 131.2 to be totally safe.
But at some point, Williams has split the 2 Ferraris. Very close between 8th and 9th position, actually. There's a chance that'll decide who gets knocked out the top 10.
There's literally a 1,000th in that.
Yeah.
I think it was the same last week that there was only a 1,000th between 1 or 2 drivers. Oh no, there was 2,000ths between 3 drivers last week. And the Sadistic King, let's see where he ends up.
14th.
Only up to P14.
But it does mean he can start on the mediums. Clerpion gonna have to get a lot more to improve his lap. Down about 2/10 in his first sector.
Bring F1's called it a day. He's happy to start in P13.
So unless Clerpion can get some good time out of this, he needs to gain about 10th in what he had last lap. Then Cole Paradox will be going through. Despite that retirement, I think it's all down now to Clerpion and what he can do.
Yep.
Ooh, that looks good. Yeah, no, up into 3rd.
Yeah, I'm on board. Is that everyone done? Yeah, everyone's
Pheasant Plucker is still on a lap, but he's 5 seconds red. Doesn't even matter.
So that's it. We have our top 10. As everyone's either crossed the line or they have retired or just sat in the pits. So it's interesting that we've got both Renaults starting P1 and 2 at the moment, obviously only being Q2.
Some of these guys are so close together.
Just picked up my phone to take a look at the Discord chat during the interval, and the Renault boys are hyping each other up.
Certainly doing well this race. Well, they got more than 4/10 over anyone else.
And the thing is, they might still have more in the bag.
Yeah, you never know. But look at 8th, 9th and 10th and how close they are in Interville. Actually, fair 11th is fairly close to them. Shame for Draper with that spin. He'll have to work his way up through the pack.
So we've lost Draper, Sadistic King, Bring F1, Craigo, and Cole Paradox in this session, leaving Dragon Speed, Pheasant Plucker, Jay, D, Big Bulls, Jay Williams, Captain Nick, Claire PR, Royal Viking, Kyle, and Tobes as our top 10.
Both Renaults, both Ferraris, and both Hasses.
Separated by a McLaren and a Williams. You've always got to have one, like, someone's always got to ruin the party. And Jack wishes he would have gotten through and knocked that Williams out.
Jack, I'm going to call if you finish, you are going to finish in 5th place.
Okay, that's a little bit weird. My screen just popped up with lap 1 of 3 at the beginning of qualifying 3. Yeah. Anyone else get that or see that?
Tobes and Dragon about to go out on track. Anyone else? And JD.
Bets on who's going to finish in P1.
You know, I'm really not too sure.
If the Renault boys can keep this pace up, then the front row will be a Renault lockout. But it's whether or not they can hook these laps up again. And if they can do it consistently during the race or not.
Actually, yeah, Tobes. I don't. Carl's won a race before. I know Tobes has.
Who was it that won last week? Was it Tobes?
I can't really remember.
It will be in the championship standings.
It was Tobes.
And
it was Tobes who won last week. Bring F1 Statistic King finish up.
I remembered him winning. Jack 17th to question mark challenge. So Jack's got his eyes set on some points after what we won't beat around the bush, we'll just call it what it is. A dreadful qualifying session. Not what he expected whatsoever.
I mean, yeah, he said he invalidated his good lap. It's obviously not good. See, is Tobes just invalidated his next lap? What's that? No, he's going to get this lap as counting.
Yeah. So, last week, Tobes taken the win. He also took driver of the day by gaining 1 position, and also took the fastest lap around Austria. So, last week, Tobes took home 26 points, and I'm pretty sure he will be looking for a repeat this week.
He could be looking at back-to-back wins here.
Have we had any repeat winners this year in Tier 2?
This season, I don't think so. Oh yeah, Big Bulls won round 2 and 3. And actually round 5 as well, so he's looking the strongest so far. Hence why, of course, he's leading the championship. Tobes is a bit of... No, it's not traffic directly ahead of him, it's the other Renault. Both now laps.
The interesting thing is, Kyle last week did not finish after what was, if my memory serves me correctly, a relatively strong qualifying session from him. So this week he might have a point to prove. We've all been there, we've all been in the middle of a race, something's gone wrong. Regardless of what game it is you're playing, you've been in the middle of it and something's gone wrong, it's completely thrown you off your rhythm, and you've come back to it a week later with more determination, and you've just absolutely smashed through what you
Carl's had a lot of DNFs as well. Oh, Tobes invalidates his... Actually, no, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the screen. Tobes, Williams and Dragon all set 131.3, 31.3 and 31.4. So fairly close up top.
Bearing in mind, sorry, Dragon Speed only came back last week, didn't he? Or took the full-time Williams seat last week. So he openly admitted himself last week that it wasn't the result he wanted, and he's got a little bit of rust that he was aiming to shake off. Well, it appears he's done it. So, as I say that, he runs massively wide on what appears to be it was going to be a decent lap, and he's just eased off and handed track position to the driver in front, which appears to be Pheasant Plucker, as Pheasant Plucker comes through the final sector.
Captain Nick, slowest time yet. Ferrari splitting the field. Who's the next man to cross the line? Clopio invalidated his lap, so it'll be Royal Viking next man across the line.
Pheasant Plucker also invalidated his lap. Do you know that awkward left-hander, middle of sector 2?
In all honesty, no, not really.
Just before the DRS detection zone for the back straight.
Yeah, I'll have a car to see.
I think it's either turn 9 or 11. There's a lot of runoff on the right hand side, and it just invites you to drift out as wide as physically possible. And it appears that Pheasant Plucker took that and ran with it, but he wanted a mile and Codemasters wanted to give him an inch. As per usual. Okay, so it looks like the top 10 is going to be relatively close in qualifying, unless someone can pull a massive lap out the bag.
Well, we know we've seen quicker laps than this so far, so certainly possible.
Yeah, it looks like Kyle is winding up for the start of a fast lap. As he's currently on a
Vikings.
Or he's out of fuel. Let's see if he drops into the pit. Sorry to cut across.
Royal Viking, okay, proceed. Royal Viking trying to improve his lap. 5/10 green so far and purple in the middle sector.
Where will that put him? That will put him on pole if he can keep that pace up.
No, 5/10 will put him about third.
I was going off of the law of averages to see if he maintains the pace that he set through the first 2 sectors.
Up into 5th for him, 31.4.
So he lost time in that final sector somewhere.
Yeah, he did.
Claire PR still yet to set a time.
Invalidated his first lap.
And decided to pit. But he's going to have to get out the pit soon. Otherwise we're going to have a repeat of Sadistic King. Might come out on the wrong tire at the wrong time. Let's follow JD on his first flying lap and see how he gets on. In what can only be described as one of the ugliest cars F1 has ever seen in this year's Haas.
I don't think it's too bad. There are some pretty, boring. Everyone's using black and white cars.
That's all Haas is, black, white and red.
The red gives it some character.
Yeah, that's true, but my personal favourites this year are the McLaren and the Renault.
See, I think
JD, sorry, is just invalidated his lap.
the Renault isn't too great this year, in my opinion. The McLaren's alright, but I kind of started watching F1 around that Vodafone livery period.
Yeah,
so that was a very nice car.
The one that I remember from being a kid was the Johnny Walker Black Label.
Yeah, I think it's around then.
From I think it was 98 to about 2004, 2005. when
For my
they
time.
before they went to Bahrain, and then when they went to Bahrain, obviously the tobacco and alcohol legislation came in to stop cars promoting alcohol and tobacco. That's why Ferrari dropped Marlboro. Renault went from Lucky 7 to whatever it went to. Because obviously the regulations in Bahrain are completely different, so instead of sponsors just missing out on one race a season, they were just like, we're just not going to let F1 teams promote smoking and drinking anymore. Which hasn't worked, because you know the mission on the side of the Ferrari?
Yeah.
That is a shell company for Marlboro.
Can believe that.
Yeah, shell company for Marlboro. So, like, and the reason they changed the logo from that white M that was kind of like faded was because under the high-speed cameras, it looked like the Marlboro logo, which was obviously caught onto by the FIA. So they just said,
yeah,
you've got to get rid of it.
Captain
So
Nick, 200th down so far. Gets nice and clean past that traffic.
And sorry, while on my little tangent, we completely missed Jay Williams on his lap. He's already in sector 3. And I'm not sure if he's looking at improving or whether or not he's out of... Yeah, it looks like he's pitting.
Ooh. Captain Nick even slower again. 1/10 down now.
I'm now back on board with JD. Let's see if he can actually set a lap this time. Oh, that was marginal. He got away with that one.
Clerpiar sets a 1:31.2 up into second position for him. Captain Nick around the last corner, he sets a 31.3. Had a good last sector for him, up to fourth position.
You know what? The Renault boys will be disappointed with themselves.
The McLaren has just retired.
Yeah, that's Jay Williams. I think he thinks he's safe.
But there's no such thing as safe, is there? It's where you qualify now. We're in Q3.
Yeah. JD going purple sector 2. And by safe, I mean, I think he thinks he's safe in his position. Oh, that's a big moment there.
Yeah.
He
Jumped to drag him behind him.
Too much of that curb.
Actually, which one of the Renaults is that?
And it looks like JD is not going to set a lap.
Tove's looking at a small amount of improvement.
Yeah.
That's a big amount of improvement. A 31.8. Dragging around that final corner now. 31.1 up into third position. Who else do we have?
Is Kyle on a lap? Kyle is on a lap. I've just jumped back on board with him in the final sector. Like,
Captain...
the final couple of corners.
Wait, is Pheasant Blocker set a lap?
No, the bottom two have not set laps so far.
I've got only Pheasant Blocker for me. But he sets the 31.1, so up into third position. Captain Nick does improve his lap. 31.1 for him.
Into pole.
Ooh, very nice. Fifth and sixth position quite literally have the same time.
Yeah, one will have set it a lap earlier.
Well.
Or there'll be like a couple of milliseconds difference in the overall lap time. But it appears that the Renault guys were listening in and heard me say that they'd be disappointed with themselves. Because immediately after, both of them went quicker.
Captain Nick fractionally quicker. Only once they... Actually, it was showing Captain Nick behind them once they changed it to integral. That wasn't so. Still unsure why Williams chose to retire. Looked like he had more to give from that car.
And that is the end of qualifying. So Captain Nick is not going to be able to finish his lap. Odd. but we'll roll with it. Okay, so was it 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th that were
5th and
identical?
6th. Both 131.93s. 131.193.
First sector for Captain Nick was 31.515. Middle sector 26.469. Overall, so they're faster and slower than each other in each sector, but it averages out to the exact same lap time. Weird. But interesting qualifying session. Who would have pegged that both Renaults would be on the front row? I know I wouldn't have done. Not until the final couple of laps of Q2 anyway. So once everybody's loaded, selected their tyres for the race, their fuel loads, so on and so forth, we'll do a quick run through of who's starting where, and we'll follow a couple cars on the formation lap to let you know who's getting on and what sort of strategy they're going for, or what we think they'll be going for. And Royal Viking and JD and a couple of the drivers are going to get in trouble for that because they've accepted their setups and fuel loads, etc., for the race when you've got to let the session timer run out.
The idea is to give everyone plenty of time.
And
so some
they
people
decided to click it.
To be fair, it's only one person that causes it, the rest of them just see, oh, won't make a difference now.
Yeah, as soon as someone clicks it, you start getting that beep. Okay, so while everyone's running around on their formation laps, it makes no difference to us, except for to go through the pack and see who's where. Do you want to do the honors, Jonathan?
Okay. Well, both strategies I'm seeing are recommending SOS. Anyway, so the front two, Kyle and Tobes, locking it out for Renault. Big Wall from the Ferrari in 3rd. Pheasant Plucker taking the 4th position. Captain Nick 5th, the other Ferrari. So looking very good for Renault and Ferrari. Structures wise, Dragon in that Williams, then Claire PR. Jay Williams, who decided to retire in Q3. Not too sure why, could have got another lap in. We'll see what he can do in the race. Might have been deliberate to try and stay out the mess, but of course the midfield into that turn 2 very dangerous. We have Royal Viking and JD finishing off the top 10. Cold Paradox opting for the mediums. Then Craigo, Bringer for one, Sadistic King, who just struggled to set a lap. Only got one lap in on mediums, and he's using softs anyway, so not sure what he was doing. Certainly can't have been the wisest decision he made. Then Draper, who lost it in that last sector, spun, hit the wall, not able to set a time. Four-star starting on hards here. A very quick driver. Jack DNF, we know that he managed to validate his lap, so he's going to be another driver working his way through the pack. Then Liverpool fan, Super Garbu and B Wheeler. I can't remember which one of these two managed to crash. One of them did.
I'm not sure which one it was either. But I've just jumped into the Discord server just to do a quick overview of who's wearing the constructors and see who's gonna jump above who. And with the two teams that we've got running comfortably inside the top 10, well, qualified comfortably inside the top 10, with the Renaults and the Ferraris being respectively inside the top 5, obviously tier 1 and tier 2 get added together, and the constructors is added up that way.
It includes the academy as well for the constructors. Yeah. No, it does include the academy.
Okay, so obviously all three added together. The Ferrari and the Renaults are having, how do we put this politely? a mediocre day at the office, as they are currently 8th and 9th in the championship standings. But there is 47 points between the Renault and the Ferraris. With 44 points available, it is mathematically impossible for the Ferraris to overhaul Renault today.
Wait, where are you looking?
In the Constructors' Championship. I'm on about just from this race alone, it's mathematically impossible for them to overhaul the Ferraris. Okay, so for some reason
Toes up to the front. Good start by him.
On your stream, did you only get the one-stop strategy, or did you get the two-stop too?
I only got one stop.
Yes,
so two Renaults held it up front. Pheasant Plucker manages to make contact with Big Balls, causing an incident there. There's a virtual safety car out. Some cars taking damage. Pack having to slow up. I don't think anyone's got rear-ended too heavily here. The pack still nice and bunched up.
Big Balls has managed to get away with that without any damage.
I don't think Pheasant Plucker did though. I think he's almost certainly lost some front wing.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at his end plates now.
They look in contact. I thought I saw someone's end plate. Might not have been his, but some debris was flying certainly.
Let's jump down the field and see if anyone has lost an end plate somewhere. Jack has gained 2 positions already.
As has Forster. Actually, I'll stick it on interval. On positions.
Yeah,
that's what's good for lap 1. Dragon down 7 laps. It's possible he's the man with damage. Sorry, 7 places. He's down 7 laps in lap 1. That is quite an impressive feat.
Let's see where he is and see if he's. I'm just waiting on the
Here we
camera
go. Racing back underway again.
Dragon speed. It does appear that his front wing is fully intact.
Don't know who it was then.
So far, what you might have seen is one of the marker boards going flying.
Actually, that's quite
or
possible.
It was one of the alphas that have just dipped into the pits. That looks like it is Bring F1 and Liverpool fan. Bring F1 has dipped into the pits.
And Jack.
And so is Jack. Jack, for the life of you, mate, do not retire.
Right. So actually, Tobe's up to get a good lead over Kyle. Dragon is paused.
Yeah. Apparently Jack is fit.
The order's just completely wrong.
Yeah.
Who do I actually know is near the top right these guys?
It'll be the 2...
Yeah, the 2
Renaults.
The order's completely rubbish again. Nearly back to fixed.
Yeah, except for I've got Claire PR and Jack. Jack is apparently second.
He's up
with a
15 positions.
2:04. Tobes went 2 seconds quicker than Kyle on the first lap, even under the BSC. That's
Sadistic King
impressive.
though, already with a penalty.
Right, let's see what penalty that is, because that's a 3-second penalty, so exceeding track limits. It might be Sadistic King's front wing you saw.
Maybe.
Like, Cody's, one thing that we would request is in next year's game, when there is front wing damage, that it doesn't just fly up into the air in like a black blob. We need it coloured so we know what car it's from.
I think they are coloured. It's just that it's a pain in the backside to see. But it'd be nice if it told you damage, you know. Spectating this, it'd be good to know some of the tyre information, just have a way to access
Jack is all over the back, and he's sending it.
Where's this
He's not quite got it.
Ooh.
Jack's sending it again. Jack's been really aggressive. There we go.
He's through.
So Jack's now going to set off in pursuit of Bring F1. Bearing in mind Jack started in 17th, and for some reason, after he came in on the first lap, he opted for the soft tyre. I think that may have been a mistake because he's going to use so much of that tyre life up now, battling with Sadistic, who's on the harder compound. Yes, it's the slower tyre, but in 10 laps, when everyone in front of him is suffering for tyre grip, he's going to be the one still setting consistent lap times. But as I say that, Jack is just driven away from him. So, moral of the story, ignore everything I have to say. Yeah, and Tobes and Kyle aren't even... Tobes is in his own race. Kyle, on the other hand, is under pressure from Big Ben.
This battle for P2 is kicking off.
Pressure from Pheasant Plucker.
Pheasant Plucker looking to go around the outside here, that's brave. Gonna have to slot him behind.
If anyone overtakes on the outside of turn 3 or 4 of Russia, there's only one thing that comes to mind, and that is
that incident.
You know the Eminem lyric, two trailer girls go round the outside?
No.
That is the only thing that has to be played if someone overtakes around the outside of that turn.
Ooh, penalty for B-Wheeler, 3 seconds there. Pheasant Plucker keeps looking for places to get past. Big Wheel's playing very defensive, just giving Carl a chance to get away.
We've got DRS this lap, haven't we? Yes. But it's a DRS train on Kyle.
Ooh. Nearly got the cutback. And always say nearly got the cutback. He's alongside him. He's got the inside lap.
Send it.
Absolutely send it. Oh. Kyle will not be a happy man.
We'll politely put this. So that was a massive mistake by Pheasant Plucker. Yes, they're sending it, and then they're sending a car into the pit lane, which he's somehow managed to send 2.
Yeah, Kyle not pitting, of course. He's still got good front wings, but his tyres will not be too happy, and neither will he.
Where did he drop down to? Oh, he dropped down to P7.
But battle for P5, Williams through past JD.
Yeah, Kyle's front wing does appear to be fully intact, so it does look like Pheasant Plucker was the one that came out on the receiving end of that. Which Kyle will probably end up reporting that 100%.
No, yeah, no, that has done.
That has report written all over it. But
it was a driver error that led to a crash.
Yeah,
and cost someone else a race.
Pheasant Plucker is the one that has suffered the most out of it. Oh, we've just had a car hit the wall. That looks like it's going to be a safety car. That was called Paradox. Do you know what I was saying in qualifying about lapse in concentration? We'll end up in the wall and it will end up in a safety car. Well, it ended up in the wall and under
actually,
a VSC.
Just a virtual one for the moment.
Where's Tobes? Tobes is in the final sector, so he could technically take his stop now and not lose that much time if he wants to risk it. He's thinking about it. Yes, he is doing.
But the driver behind Big Wall's looking to do it as well.
Tobes, 5 seconds. Okay, I watched Tobes pull into the pits then. He was not speeding in the pit lane.
Are they, well, Captain Nick Evans the first.
Yeah.
Are they're not drive-throughs, are they? It's just add 5 seconds.
Yeah. So, Tobes has lost 7 positions by taking his stop under the VSC, but he has put a hard tyre on. So, actually, no, he's just come out of the pit lane and he's in P10 now. So, he's Kyle's just made a move back up to P4, up the inside of turn 4.
Wrong person.
Well done, Kyle. That was a nice bit of driving. Craigo with a penalty for exceeding track limits. Where's our favourite DNF? Still down in 17th.
He's fighting his way up. Was at last at one point.
Yeah.
In fact, he's back to where he started, I think.
If he needs any tips on a recovery drive, hit me up, Jack. I went from P8 to P18 to P3. So let me know. Captain Nick is just...
Ooh, bit of contact between Craigo and JD. They somehow avoid a crash, but that was a bit of a dodgy overtake there. There's plenty of room for a safe overtake. Craigo just didn't leave that much.
I just jumped on board with Craigo, and he's... well, blocking. He's not picking a line and sticking with it. It's only slight adjustments to his line, but those slight adjustments are causing JD to back out of essentially what would be an overtaking opportunity.
But Dragon getting past JD.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, is he? Bit of a drag race hit. Ooh. JD holds it. I don't know. Ooh. Hang on.
Dragon speeds ahead. He's going round the outside. I know he's dropped it off now. On the braking,
he's still on side.
Who's got to be braver into this turn? Who's got...
JD's got it ahead. Yeah. Dragon just chooses to slot him behind. Don't want to lose too much race time.
Nope.
Some good battle in between those two.
Tobes is pulled up on the back of Gabu. Oh, Jack, come on, mate. You don't need these penalties when you're all the way down there.
How much is he up to? Hold on. 3 seconds.
But saying that, Jack is on the back of Bring F1. And they will be coming into the DRS zone in a moment. And he has
side by side between second and third place. Williams got through Royal Viking and Royal Viking got him back.
That's an interesting battle. Let's see if Jack can get past. Tobes with the 3 second penalty. He's not happy being stuck down there, is he? He's not happy being stuck in traffic.
Struggling with those hard tyres.
The hard tyres do take a couple of laps to get into that operating window. And for some reason, Jack just does not have the straight line pace to get past Bring F1, even with the DRS wide open.
Like the set we went for.
Yeah, I was just about to say Jack might
have opted this kicking off. They're going 3 wide into whatever corner this is.
Turn 1. Turn 2, sorry.
And they completely switch positions. Oh,
yeah.
Now Toad's trying around the outside.
Williams with a time penalty.
Liverpool fan manages to keep it ahead of Toves. A lot of racing going on here. Captain Nick's still holding that comfortable first.
Do you know what? The only driver that Kyle's just got past. Williams has just binned it. He's recovered, but he's lost multiple positions. And I was just saying, it appears that the only driver that is having absolutely no hassle at the moment in regards to a car closing him down or gaining, particularly on the car ahead, is Kyle. Kyle's not losing anything to the cars behind because they're all battling, and Royal Viking's just staying around 5 seconds ahead of him. So that will be down to the strategy.
Is that where we can see what the reference strategies are or not?
See what strategy people are opting for.
Yeah. Can't hit race direct, can you? Actually, preference.
No, yeah, you can see what tyre choice they've gone for during their pit stops. So, Claire PR went soft to hard, Sadistic soft hard, Bring F1 medium to hards, Jack medium to soft. A lot of them have gone soft to hard or soft to medium. And Pheasant Plucker, for some reason, Pheasant Plucker did lose his front wing in that collision with Kyle. So he went hard to medium. So he started the race on the hard tyre.
No, found that we can't see any of the actually important information. Codemasters limits us to this.
Yeah. if there was a strategy button, do you know, like when it pops up on the opening
Yeah, I mean,
lap for like
you've got
20
like
seconds.
10 seconds, yeah, to look through every single driver's, just to... But they all had slightly different. Don't know if that's setup based or what they went for or what. Oh, there's they're going 3 wide into the oh my goodness.
Oh,
Big balls, going for an absolute big ball overtake, gets double into
Kyle
one
has
corner.
got it sorted. Kyle was the lucky one there. He jumped 2 places with that overtake.
How long is the pit stop for? I don't know. Don't race there.
I go on average 22 seconds for a pit stop. It just seems what the average is around every track across the game. But we've just had
this is
Liverpool fan going to the pits, so let's see where he comes out. Well, he had a 5-second penalty for his speeding in the pit lane too. So Liverpool fan is all the way down in 16th. So I'd say that's about, yeah, about 27 seconds he lost, including the 5. Jack has had another stop.
Oh, battle for second is going on. Tiny bit of contact going on there.
As long as they keep it fair and nobody loses the front wing.
They weren't far off losing the front wing, to be honest.
Kyle and Royal Viking have dropped Dragon Speed. Both of them into the pits at the same time.
Yeah.
On the...
Oh, and Royal Viking loses his front wing going into the pits.
That will be looked at in the stewards after. Because
Captain
Royal
Nick has
Viking...
pitted. He's
Yeah.
gone for mediums. So where's he going to come out? We've got Dragon here.
He will be out around about 8. I think Tobes will just pick him.
It's really hit and miss. I had a look at the times. Is that him ahead? No, that's Big Way.
Royal Viking, Captain Nick comes out in 7th.
7th, him.
So I wasn't too far off with my guess.
But if we have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers ahead of him, still to
Take a
hit
stop.
themselves, yeah.
So essentially,
So net, Big Balls, Tobes,
on
Captain Nick. So he's looking for a podium, actually, isn't he?
yeah, these medium tyres will easily do 16 laps. It'll be a piece of cake. So he's looking at essentially 3rd place while cars are stopping. But if he can pick up a couple of places in the meantime, like he's on the back of Gabby already, who's yet to stop.
Yeah, you can see Gabby struggling and his worn softs a bit.
Yeah. Here we go. And the move is already done. It's going to be done before the braking zone. Light work. And then he's got 4-star up ahead, who started on the hard tyre.
I guess, yeah, he did. And actually started in 16th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's up to P5 at the moment.
Yeah,
So
he's up 13,
he
wait, up 11 positions, Draper
Yeah.
up 13, Wheeler up
Wheeler's
11.
also up 11.
But apart from those big gains, a lot of people have dropped.
Yeah. Well, everyone's dropped because only like 3 guys have gained like 10 plus positions.
Dragon's pitted. Right, so the rest of
Apparently,
the...
on my screen, I've got Jack as a green arrow, but red number 2.
that is odd.
So
I
he's-
have the same, actually. I have the same. I can't say no why he's doing that.
yeah. So Captain Nick is making light work of the cars ahead.
Behind 4-star
He's
now.
already on the back of 4-star.
It's this one not for position. There's a whole pit stop ahead of 4-star.
Yeah. Well,
Both of them on the
it's
one-stop
position on
strategy.
track, but
Yeah,
strategy will come into it. So the position's already his.
and 4-star just pulls out of it. Captain Nick going wide there. Might have earned himself a warning.
Yeah, Kyle with a 3-second penalty there. Let's see how he gets on. So, Tobes has got 8 seconds worth of penalty.
And that, however, depending on what you said, he may get that 5 seconds from the pit stop refuted. I don't know how well you saw that.
As
was
I
he speeding
jumped
the pit
on,
lane? Or?
he was crawling towards the pit lane limiter line.
Didn't last minute mash the
Big Balls has gone. Oh no, sorry, Captain Nick. He had a massive slide. It's like he's overworked those mediums this lap and they've just overheated.
Still pointing forward though, and ahead of 4-star still, so didn't lose himself too much.
Yeah, 4-star had to back out of it, otherwise it was bye-bye front wing. It was one of the moments where the car had started to slide, but it hadn't gone far enough for Codemasters to go, you know what, we need to ghost the car now. It was one of them.
But
so
Club PR looking at JD, not close enough. I'll have to look another time.
Oh, this battle for 9th is still going on.
Yeah, I think there's 3 drivers looking at this battle.
Yeah, and the only one without a time penalty at the moment is Club PR.
Overtake from the 16th into turn 1. Sadistic King Liverpool fan. Hard to put blame on anyone there. I think both drivers had a bit of fault, but
play down as a racing incident.
I mean, it's up to the stewards, not up to me, isn't it?
No, I'm saying, is that what you would call it? If you were to put it down.
I'm honestly not sure, because both drivers did something that caused the incident. So really, it could have been either of them. But ultimately, it was the McLaren of Sadistic King who suffered from it more.
Draper is still out in front, just controlling the pace of the race. And a set of 12 or 13 lap old mediums. So it looks like he's looking at going to about lap 15 or 16. And then pitting. We have a yellow flag somewhere down in the midfield. Well, we did for a couple of moments.
Might be about to see an overtake for 9th position again. Club PR Royal Viking this time. That's DRS. Don't think he's close enough though.
Is he going to send it? Yes, he sent it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and outbraked himself.
And he hasn't done the chicane. Oh, what's going on there? Getting a move.
Even the battle for 12th is heating up. Well, 11th.
That's for 11th, yeah. Craig through, but also bring F1 on the outside of B Wheeler. And he's through around the outside. Look at that overtake.
And Jay Williams is now getting involved in that too. Bearing in mind he's on the fresher tyres.
But also Krieger's and similarly fresh tyres.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Wheeler and Breen.
Essentially the 2 cars ahead of him maybe have to stop again. B Wheeler definitely has to stop. I don't think he's pitted yet this race.
No, Bring F1 may try and go to the end. Let's see what he goes for there.
What tyre is he on?
It's on the hard, 11 laps old. So he has actually pitted. But as Williams gets through past Wheeler.
Bring F1, he'll be coming towards the end of the tyre life on those set of hards. They may be around about 60-70% worn by the end of the race. But he'll have enough life left in them to just about limp across the line. And the
Club PR seems to keep forgetting he's got DRS. Every time I watch him on the main straight, it takes him over half a second to start using the DRS. Ooh, bit of touch then. Kept it clean enough though.
After such great qualifying session from the 2 Renault boys, I actually feel sorry for them. They've both been unfortunate with incidents. Especially Kyle with Pheasant Plucker coming up the inside of him. But saying that, Pheasant Plucker has not recovered from that. He's still down in P17.
Ooh, looks like Big Balls could be challenging for the lead here. No, actually, can Big Balls go to the end of his tyres? He's an 8 lap old mediums. Still 12 laps to go. Can they go 20 laps?
I'd argue yes, but I'm not sure how much grip he'd have at the end of it.
So actually Captain Nick might win this then, because he's only, what, 5.5 seconds behind. Toby's has got tons of penalties, and Cena will be fighting Big Balls. And if Big Balls' tyres are going to struggle in the end...
for some reason I can see Pheasant Flock of Rage quitting in a couple of laps.
He does seem to be quite a resilient driver
penalty
from the past.
He's had a bad day at the office for now. Yeah, as long as Tobes can pull out a gap on Captain Nick when those mediums inevitably start to go off, which should be around about lap 15 on them. So that guy Draper, who has lost a lead to Big Balls, by the way.
Didn't see when that happened. Well, actually, I think it was on the screen because I just wasn't looking at the screen.
Yeah, so Draper will start to suffer on those mediums now. They've hit the cliff, they'll start to drop off.
I'm not sure to get a race ban for road quitting. I've seen drivers do it before. Generally, they like to smash their car into a wall to avoid getting any penalty for it.
Yeah, but if you watch the DNF footage back, you can tell what like a deliberate crash is. Or if they're using a steering wheel, they'll just like maybe use their toe to disconnect the pedals or something. So they'll go, oh yeah, like my wire came loose or
Draper
something.
into the pits now. So now it's just the top 3 battling away.
So that's what I said, that the mediums have hit the cliff and fallen off. So we're looking at lap 15 for Big Balls pitting, which would leave him with 5 laps left. If I was him, I'd come in now and whack on a set of softs and maximise the amount of time that he can gain on them, because 5 laps might not be enough to recoup the positions that he will lose if he does take a stop.
It's going to be a hard decision for him to make. Of course,
if he pits now, he will be coming out behind Royal Viking in 10th.
What's the gap to leader like?
Gap to leader from Royal Viking is 21.3 seconds. So he will be popping out in 9th, just ahead of Bring F1.
Also, Toby's with the fastest lap at the moment, 35 flat.
Which is, he set that on his set of softs at the beginning of the race. Let's flick through, see if there's any battles going on.
Well, there is. The 10th.
Is that battle for 10th still going on?
Yeah. And they're going 3 into a corner again.
Oh god,
front wings were
ghosted.
lost. Oh my goodness.
Bring F1 just went into full ghost mode. Which I think that
Williams went for an absolute... He was within his rights to do what he did. The problem was there were 3 drivers. And none of them accounted for that.
Craig's just coming into the pits.
Bring F1 into the pits, Draper into the pits, and Craig, he took 3 people out of the race. Well, 3 people had to repair their front wings because of one dive bomb.
Bring F1's retired.
And understandably so, he's going to be very annoyed after that. Any hope of getting points out the window.
There's going to be a lot of angry messages flying around in the server at the end of this race. So, fortunately enough, he did retire in the pit lane. That's props to him for doing that. Big Balls has got another penalty.
Penalties for those top guys. That was his first penalty.
Yeah.
Carl's also on 3 seconds. Actually, Carl now quite close to Captain Nick. There's a chance they'll try and work together to try and get Tobes, but of course, Renault's, I don't know if they're in a party or what. It's always hard to tell who's talking to who.
Yeah. if you were Nick, if you were Kyle, you'd want to get past Captain Nick for the, not just for the podium, but to frustrate him, force him into a penalty, and just make sure that you stay ahead as you cross the line. So then, with penalties, you and your teammate both secure the podium. Because at the moment, Ferrari P1 and P3, Renault P2 and P4. They're in a nice little sandwich of each other, aren't they?
Yeah, the thing is, with penalties, it'd be Ferrari P1, P2.
Yep.
So we'll see.
So Tobes needs to, but saying that Big Balls might need to stop again, which his tyres are 12 laps old, so he's got to start coming towards that grip, like fall off, which.
There's quite a lot of drivers with penalties.
Yeah, there's only a couple without.
Stick penalties on. Through it.
The driver with the most penalties is Pheasant Plucker.
Yeah, 9 seconds. A couple of them with 8 seconds.
Yeah, which will be speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Which normally that penalty is served on your pit stop if you get caught speeding in the pit lane. So I'm not sure why it hasn't been served. But Kyle is on the back of Captain Nick now. There's half a second in it. So if he can get the move done. He does not have a lot of ERS though, that's the only... But saying that, neither does Captain...
He's got
Kyle
a lot
has
more
a lot
than
of
Nick.
ERS, Captain Nick doesn't. So if Kyle's close enough, he will get past now.
And this looks like it's going to be quite likely to happen. Actually, no, he's not close enough.
Oh wait, he's sending it, he's sent it.
Yeah, he's gone deep,
And
wasn't close enough.
He's going to have to give that back.
But he didn't have to give it back. It was got back. Like Captain Nick not cutting him off her. There we go.
That's very fair driving from both drivers.
Ooh, Carlos a bit of time out the exit of that corner.
4-star with a new fastest lap of the race. Whereas 4-star is in 10th.
But he's on
so he will be
softs.
picking up an extra point. When you're down in 10th, securing that extra point makes a big difference. Pheasant Plucker with 12 seconds now. It is just going from bad to worse for him after what was a decent start and a decent race up until that incident with Kyle. It's just not worked out very well for him, has it?
Look, Captain Nick about to get out. Oh no, Carl not able to get through again. Captain Nick once again holding on to that 3rd position. And actually didn't even compromise his line that much either.
Captain Nick is doing exactly what I said for Kyle to do to him.
Yeah.
And Williams with another penalty. Where is he? So he's got 6 seconds. And he's exactly 6 seconds behind, 5 seconds behind the car in front.
Carl with a bad exit. I can't see him getting through this time either, to be honest.
It's so tantalisingly close. Oh, he's sending it.
He's gone for the same move again. And he's not going to get it again.
Ooh!
Dodgy. So cars found that cars can use their own setup. All cars are equal performance, but some drivers have more downforce, so others will have better top line speed. But also just generally Captain Nick seems to be better at exiting the last corner. Carl seems too keen to try and gain him, compromises the exit.
What I'd say is, it looks like Captain Nick has compromised his top speed for more rear end grip out of the slower corners, which is a result of more rear wing. It may only be a click or two of more rear wing, but if it means he can brake later and get a better entrance and exit from the corners, there's nothing much Kyle can do except for try and get up the inside going into a corner.
Small mistake there by Kyle.
He's getting frustrated and he'll be sat in his living room or his gaming room, wherever he's sat, and he'll be sat there just swearing at his TV knowing that his teammate is only a couple seconds up the road. And when they come onto the start-finish straight, he can see him up ahead just disappearing into the distance, as well as the leader. And there is nothing he can do about it.
So yeah, not even remotely close this time. I mean, he's in DRS range, but if he goes for a lunge from here, that'll be extremely dodgy. Although he did gain in the braking zone there. And that's what he should have been doing on the other laps, to be honest. He should have been trying to gain time there, instead of going for that lunge and losing time overall. And actually nearly taking out Captain Nick, which would have been some pretty hefty post-race penalties. Forced on with another fastest lap. There we go.
So it's 2 in a row for him. Oh, Kyle massively wide there. If you're on board with this battle between Kyle and Captain Nick, I'm going to flick through and see what else we've got going on.
Well, there's one for 13th. Potentially had
that battle for P13 still going on.
Yeah, there's the 2 Red Bulls there. That was one of the racing points. As Draper gets himself a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, he ran massively wide, didn't he?
Actually, to be fair, I think it's just worth focusing on Carl Nick. Carl forced around the long way. Nick holds it around the outside. Now that was Carl got past on the inside. Nick held it around the outside and then the inside on the next corner.
He's sending it. Oh, that's that corner.
That was some good defending.
Yeah, that corner is not a place to overtake because you clip that curb and it will just bounce you off. And while you've got tyres off the ground, you have absolutely no control of the car.
Hugely better exit there. Nearly 2/10 gain, which is the exit. Although it's been lost here already.
Yeah.
Starting to be lost because of that DRS, CRS, slipstream. Everything working against him, and he's still fending him off. But yeah, you know, Carl is better out of that first chicane. Captain Nick has got the advantage in that last corner, it seems. Oh, and Claire PR past JD. Stick penalties up again briefly.
Yeah, I've just done the exact same thing.
They've found up to 11, but Pheasant back up to 12.
I've just swapped onto the tyre life. So Big Bulls and Tobes are on the same length on the tyres. Just they're on a different compound. So can Big Bulls make these mediums eke out for another 4 laps, or is he going to suffer? And Kyle is right on the rear wing of
Nick.
Captain
Might
Nick
have him this time. This time he's got this side. Looks like he's through. And
yeah, he's got that one absolutely nailed this time. JD with a time penalty there for
but we've seen that Captain Nick's better on the last corner, so if he can pull what he's been pulling in the last few laps, he might get him immediately back after all that work Carl put into that overtake. Captain Nick might just sweep him straight under the rug.
Surprise of the race, Jack has just set the fastest lap.
On a fresh set of sauce.
Yeah, Jack is currently getting himself a point down in P17. I know I shouldn't laugh at that, but
Captain Nick looking to move into turn 1. Sensibly tucks in, realises he's too far back.
And he's taking the longer line round at turn 3 or 4, which, right, tracks, the designers of tracks need to stop giving corners
to
corners that aren't actually corners. Because it gets confusing, like turn 2 at Austria is technically turn 3. But turn 2 is part of the straight. It's frustrating. If you have to brake and turn, it's a corner. Or if you actually have to put like in a certain amount of steering lock. Otherwise, if you just kind of ease him left.
I don't know, that's pretty stupid. Actually, Tobes is now closing in on Big Bulls.
Yep.
So yeah, the kink is considered turn 1. Oh, the funny thing, that big long left-hander is actually considered 2 different corners.
Is it?
Yeah. There's that little one as you exit the chicane, and then the long one.
So that's 4 and 5 there. Well, 3 and 4 there.
Yeah, and then the 5 is the right 90.
And Tobes just got himself another time penalty.
Ooh, I'll open them up. Yeah, not looking good for Tobes. But actually, if Big Balls can hold his place, then he's going to get the win at the moment. Captain Nick's got a fairly safe podium, to be honest. One driver ahead with over 10 seconds of penalties, another driver ahead who may need to pit on pretty rubbish tyres. So things are looking up for him.
I think Big Balls is just going to suffer now till the end of the race. Because if he pits now, he's going to come out with a stop. He's going to come out in 7th behind JB. And ahead of Royal Viking with a lap to go. It's not worth the stop or risk at this point, because he might make the stop, he might get a time penalty, might speed in the pit lane or something. It happens. Both Big Bulls and Tobes are very low on ERS, so it's going to be an interesting one to see if Tobes can get the run out of the final turn. He's lost a little bit of time there, not a lot, but then he got a much better exit out of there. And where's he gonna?
Well, it looks like he's going to try and stick it, and of course he's safe from Tobes, isn't he?
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, I think Big Balls might have the win here.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Big Balls, Captain Nick, Kyle. Tobes is going to be the finishing order.
Yeah.
Ferrari
Either way,
1-2.
that's a good result for both teams, especially going into the constructors. They're going to have one eye on their race, and then they're going to have one eye on tier 1-2. I'm not sure how the Renaults got on in the academy because I was focused on my own race.
I think Renault is a team that's not doing actually amazing across the entire championship.
No, they're
actually lost in the constructors.
Renault? No, they're not. Haas are right down at the bottom in the constructors.
They're in the academy, is that all?
Across all three tiers together.
Wait, where are you looking?
Go into the Cone Racing League and go to constructors.
Oh, that's season 2.
Yeah, sorry, season 2. Yeah.
We're on season 3, I believe. Season 3 standings. Renault are in last, Ferrari in second. We're looking for a big haul here. So, Captain Nick refusing to get off Carl's tail. I mean, actually, hang on. If I stick this on leader, Captain Nick is actually looking to get the win at the moment.
Yeah.
In fact, no, I think he is going to get the win.
Yeah.
I'll leave it on leader, and I'll leave it on penalties just so we can see who's going to get that win.
I've done the exact same thing. Like,
and of course, all of them can now see each other. I mean, I'm involved Captain Nick in 4th. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, sorry guys, if there's a battle going on down the pack, but no, I've just clicked through the pack. Everyone's quite spaced out, but Sadistic King with the fastest lap.
It's a bit of a battle for
the final lap.
Small battle for 8th going on.
Yeah, but there's still 3 seconds between. Well, sorry, though, there's like half a second between the two, and it's not really a battle because Royal Viking's got 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Now the two Renaults are going to start battling.
And so is Claire PR, so 4-star is going to jump up to at least 7th.
There we go, Kyle through on Tobes, and actually that might be a team decision because Tobes can get that 2nd place, whereas Kyle can get that 2nd place, whereas Tobes can't. Got a few corners left to go. As long as Big Balls can keep it pointed forward.
Would you just park it on the exit of the final corner to try and force Captain Nick on the wide line?
There's a certain level of sportsmanship that should be adhered to. But no, look at that. Ferrari 1-2 and Captain Nick gets the win.
Yeah, so Ferrari's lock out P1 and 2. Solid drive from both guys there. Reynolds in P3 and 4. That's disappointing for them. Especially Kyle,
Forster's going to get 7th, isn't he?
Pardon?
Forster's going to get 7th because of penalties. Yeah, there we go. Who gets the last spot?
I did say he would jump up to 7th. Pheasant Plucker got himself another penalty, so he finishes on 15.
Ooh. AI cars after the race being extremely intelligent.
Of course, they just crash into each other for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gabu has just missed out by 17 seconds.
Just
on a point. But that's a solid performance from him. It's not really.
Liverpool fans going to end up jumping B Wheeler.
Yeah. Like, I've not seen much of Gabu's race, but what I have seen, he's been consistent. He's not really put a wheel wrong. Actually, let's jump into Race Director before I make any more comments, because it may make me look like an absolute idiot.
Hooray. Jack spins it across the line.
A typical Jack fashion.
I think he started and finished in 17th.
Consistently inconsistent is the only way to summarise Jack.
He seems to be very... There we go, Ferrari 1-2. Not seen for a long time in F1.
Okay, right. So as I was saying about Gabu, where did he finish? It was 11th. So he... Yeah, just kept himself out of trouble, really.
Oh, of course, there was that incident. I can't remember who rear-ended who. I don't think it was one of the Ferraris causing the incident. I can't remember who. Here we go.
So,
Captain Nick, Big Balls, Kyle, Tobes, Dragon, Clerpiar, 4-star, JD, Williams, and Royal Viking. They're getting those points in. So yeah, Ferrari did well there. Renault went from 1-2 to 3-4.
I'm looking through for Captain Nick and Big Balls, and it appears that none of them hit the Ferrari. Hit anyone else, in fact. All they did was exceed track limits.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
So, wow, what has Jack just said?
GG lads, great comms.
Cheers, Jack.
But, how many drivers didn't get penalties? Like 3?
Yeah. But Sochi is awful. That guy Draper, Kyle asking who spun me, and Big Balls immediately pointing Kyle at himself. As you know, it's very easy to spin yourself out. Okay, and we managed to get through that session without any issues with connection or anything like that, as there has been quite a few this week with the...
Oh, whoops, wrong button.
Thank God we managed to get through that session without any issues.
Don't jinx us now, though. And that happened multiple times throughout the race as well, that's the best part. Who's the other Ferrari? Oh, Big Balls, isn't it? I'm gonna try and get them in for a quick post-race chat. Get them in for a quick post-race interview, if they're up for it. Right, we'll see if they join, but for the moment, well done to Nick. Well done to Big Bulls. The Renault's taking up a 3rd and 4th. They qualified well, that should be fair. 3rd and 4th are not places to be scoffed at. It's good for their championship. But a few incidents going on there. And some absolutely crazy 3 wides into sectors you should never ever ever go 3 wide into. Craig at one point calls 3 people to pit for new front wings. An absolute strike by him.
A little bit of Con Racing League trivia. That was Captain Nick's first win. So he has taken the win today, and even his teammate is nominating him for Driver of the Day.
Hello.
Guys.
The man who won.
The man, the myth, the captain.
Yeah, well, I was trying to do it with TC turned off for the first 5 races of the season, and I just gave up on it because I was spinning out and not doing anything. So since then, it's been slow, steady improvement, and there you go.
Well, from where we were sat and watching from our very comfortable seats, that was an epic drive, and you managed to maintain the gap without getting yourself a penalty.
Yeah.
How did you manage to not get a penalty around Sochi? It is horrendous.
Yeah, do you know what? I was so scared of getting one, and there were a few times where I thought I was in danger of it, but you know, sometimes, and I just got lucky with 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah, I saw you had a warning at one point.
Yeah, I had 1 warning in the race, and that was it. But I kind of knew that keeping it clean would be the key with that, with how it is around Sochi. So I was just trying to keep it steady. I really enjoyed the battle with Kyle as well that I was having. I saw that he had his penalty, so I was trying to keep him behind for a while, but then let him go eventually.
Bombs.
Yeah, we had fun watching that. We were discussing this on the stream. I'm not sure if you heard it, but in your setup, were you running more rear wing in order to give you the better exit out of the slower corners?
I had played around with it a bit, but I went 3.7 in the end, and I think most others would be on that. There might have been some on 2.7, but no more than that.
Some of them might have been on 5 or 6 on the rear wing because they just got hung up on the big straights.
Yeah, I felt like it was too much of a disadvantage to have it that high, so that's why I went back down to 3. I felt it was a nice balance, and obviously
Big Balls.
well.
Big Balls, how did you find that race? Got on 2nd.
Oh yeah. Did you? Did you get a penalty for touching the back of Tobes in the pit lane? Yeah, I just saw you. I was on board with Tobes as he was coming into the pits under the VSC, and obviously I saw the little bump up the rear, and that resulted in him getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that little shunt must have added a couple miles an hour to him as he hit the limiter. It looked that way to me, but it might not have been. Your point of view might be completely different. It could be camera angle, we don't know. But yeah, his 5 seconds should be removed because of what I saw. He was underneath the pit, he hit the pit lane limiter a good 5 yards before the pit lane limiter line. So... But well done, that was a great performance from the Ferraris. Were you two in each other's ears throughout the race, or did you just leave each other alone?
We usually have a chat with qualifying and stuff like that, but not during the race. So, yeah, we just get on with it, I think.
No, actually, it looked like the 2 Renaults were working together, because right at the end when I can't remember which one caught up to. The one who had less penalties.
Kyle overtaking Tobes.
Yeah, Carl. I think Tobes let Carl pass because if Carl got the overtake on big balls, then he would have got that P2, which didn't quite happen. But I think constructors
I
wise
didn't
the right
realise
decision.
with penalties that it was P1. I thought I was just going for P2, and then all of a sudden I realised that actually the cars were bunching up. Oh, hang on, but it's a 1-2 either way, so I'm not too fussed, yeah.
But you must be ecstatic with the first win in the Cone Racing League.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, it's absolutely buzzing when you finish on the podium, let alone get the win.
Yeah, but sweating so much, just trying to make sure those last few laps you don't do anything stupid.
Well, just go fan yourself off for a bit, or go stand outside in the cold air.
Yeah, I think I will.
You're gonna need it, especially, and at the end of the day, well done. Like, I didn't expect you to come from where you did to get the win today. Frankly, after watching your last couple of performances, I expected you to be lingering around the bottom half of the points.
Yeah, it's nice to know. It's nice to know I can do it.
Yeah. So you and Big Balls in particular, keep it up, and we'll hopefully see more of it next week.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Right.
Alright.
Cheers, guys.
Well done and good luck for next week.
Cheers. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Right, so just for all the people here who are wondering, next week we have got a race around Singapore. So that'll be an interesting one. Again, another one that's very close to the walls quite often. One mistake can cause the front wing to go. So see how that goes. Part of me wants that to rain.
Scratch your head going along the start-finish straight, well, the back straight, and lose your front wheel. Which I'm going to avoid doing this week, next week. But yeah, Yas Marina, no, not Yas Marina, Singapore. Absolutely epic track. Look forward to commentating on it because there will be a lot of action, and can almost guarantee at least one safety car already. Because if we've had one at Sochi and there's miles of runoff, definitely going to get a full safety car around Singapore.
Yeah, right, I think I'm going to end the stream off now. So thank you guys for watching. And from me and Kieran, that'll be goodbye and see you next week.
See you next week, guys.